Alright, so I knew starting off this round on hole 9 would be tricky because it's a tough few holes to start with and really tough to end with, but I had a good drive on hole 9, and that left me with a circle 2 putt for birdie. I was psyched to make that putt. It's a good start. A few holes later, and we're on a tough hole, and I'm scrambling. I wanted to get up and down from here, but it was really tough. We'll just save par, so I was back at even. On this hole, I usually go for eagle. Unfortunately, this guy's standing in front of me. I had a really great drive. I hit the last tree, but it still landed on the fairway. That left me with a chip up forehand, and then a birdie putt, because this is a par 4. So that was a good birdie to get. I like getting that one. The next hole, I take the tee pad from a knee, which is pretty unusual. I did not hit my line, but it was an easy up and down for par, so no harm done. A few holes later, and I go forehand turnover off this tee. Look at that thing get left. It's a wild shot. And then I was a little past the basket. That left me with a bit of a scramble putt for birdie. That putt barely made it, but it squeaked its way in the basket. On this next hole, I go backhand and hyzer instead of the forehand hyzer. It's just my preferred line for some reason on this hole. It seems to work out for me. It was a really good tee shot. I landed past the basket, another scramble putt for birdie, and I had this like little branch touching my hand, so I had to like mentally block that out on my up and down. And I'm glad I was able to do that and make that putt, because I really like getting that hole.
So I had to like mentally block it out.
So now we're about halfway through the round, but this is course hole 18. I usually go forehand flex off the tee to go for a big eagle bid, but too much anhyzer, it didn't come back. So I had to scramble. It was actually a really good scramble. It gave myself a pretty decent birdie putt here. Not super close, but gave myself a chance.
Push.
And I just did not commit to that putt. I was really disappointed in that one, but it was still a par. Now we're up to hole 1. And I go forehand flex off the tee with just a standstill, and I definitely hit my line. I gave that basket a bit of an ace run. I passed it, and it was a little bit on the right, which was pretty perfect. You could see me on the right here with a pretty decent sized birdie putt, and I was happy to cash that one in. Hole 2 is probably the easiest one as far as stats go. It's just standstill, backhand, and hyzer. I left it a little inside. Had not a great kick off a tree, but it still gives me a birdie putt because it's such a short hole. So I was happy to grab that one as well. I feel like hole 3 is a pretty easy shot. There's a standstill forehand flex, but there was a headwind through that tunnel that me and my car did not realize because we all just left it left. I was able to get up and down for par from there. This is hole 4. It's really tough for the forehand. I turned it over, which was definitely the line, and gave myself a look, which is super rare on this hole. It's 335 feet with a ceiling. This is my birdie bid. I just did not fully commit to that putt, but it's totally fine to get a par on that hole. This next hole is really tough, and I left it a little too wide. Hit that tree. Approach shot wasn't great, and this is what I'm left with to save par. Another straddle putt. Not happy to bogey this hole. Hole 7 is the hardest hole here in my opinion. I go forehand flex, and I just grounded it and slid to the right side of the rough. I was able to get up and down just to save bogey, which is the usual for this hole. And now we're up to the last hole here. There's no way to birdie this in my opinion. I just go backhand sky-hyzer, and I kind of missed my line, but it ended up in a really good spot and gave me an upshot, forehand and hyzer up the hill, and I put it right next to the basket for par. So I ended 3 under, which is great.